Hmm. 700, 800 milliamp, 20 volts on this thing. It's not turning on. Probably dead CPU. I'd say that current is just the battery charging. That's my guess. Well, let's pull it apart, see what happens. Not much else we can do. Other than maybe sort of like, you know, thoughts and prayers, bit of magic, maybe sprinkle some homeopathic water on it. Yeah. Guaranteed cure-alls. Now, Miles, that's the 1534 you're thinking of. The 1534 is the genuine dead CPU book. The 1932 can be better, but we'll see. Hey, Huberman. Go. Alright, this someone's already taken the label off the T2, so something's been doctored. Alright, now it's going to get fun because we know someone else has been here and taken that label off. Stuff getting serious now. Alright, T5, which is the incorrect one for this purpose. We've got a few too many T4s we've got to dance with. Okay, T4. There's T5s on here, but a lot of it's also T4. Oh, and a moment of silence to all the dissenting voices that were just suddenly wiped out by YouTube in the last day or so. Now, the down thumbers, the thumb downers, will never know if they really did have their thumbs down acknowledged, or whether it's just gone to the bit bucket of the universe. So apparently, YouTube has decided that in order to preserve the state of snowflakes and emotions, they're eliminating the display of thumb down counts. Maybe it's to combat global warming. They figure by letting more people maintain their cool state of mind, that it will help with help reduce the global temperature rise. Okay, there's a little pin on there that looks a little bit sus. Not a lot, but yeah. Anything in this point can count. Hey, Tony. I really don't mind the 1932 in all honesty. It's kind of like the new age 1466 in terms of being dead easy to just take the board out. No real tricks and surprises. About the only surprise you get is the fact that there's two screws under these cable flexes here. But that's it. It's pretty easy going, really. Right. Now, I figure if they really, if they cared, so if they were, really mattered, I guess they would just eliminate the thumbs down. Yeah, there's no point really. Eliminate the thumbs down, and then you basically only get a tally of all the positive responses, and that's about it. And if that positive response is substantially less than your normal rate, then you can sort of guess then that it was a poorly received video. There's still a trash on my bench from a phone I did today, and the phone was just nasty. Really, really nasty. I swear it was like someone had just emptied a diaper into it. A used diaper at that. Alright. Eos, Kotas. Okay, quick cursory look. Yeah, I think the big problem here is that everything looks... A lot of things are looking good on the board, which is not good. When you got a good looking board and it's not working, that's not good. So, I guess we'll just do our visual inspection and see what we can find. It could well be a dead CPU. Or T2 for that. Did you guys reflow the T2? I hope that's flux. That's flux. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is all... no, damn it. This is basically probably going to be... toss it back. Do you have construction equipment around? It could be just some people reversing, but I can't. I don't know whether you're joking or not, because no, there's nothing at the moment. It's late at night. I can't hear any beeping. And they've put a different ISL on there. Okay, so basically they've gone through and tried everything. But they bridged the freaking... please tell me that's not a bridge. Or if it is, please tell me that's meant to be bridged. Or is it just flux? It could be flux. It might be flux. Hey, Rose Electronics. It might be flux. I think it's flux. Okay, that was flux. It's really not a chip you want to have bridged. But yeah, it really does look like this person's already gone through the motions. And I'd say they've washed it down using a toothbrush and alcohol. They don't have an ultrasonic cleaner by the looks of it. I'm going to pop the CPU heatsink off and see if there's a cap under there or something that's looking nasty. But I've got no hints on this because it's all washed away now. And I mean, that's fine. You obviously, if you're going to take a shot at fixing a board, when you're finished with it, you sort of... Oh, the two diodes are... Okay. Oh boy, how did they manage that? What they've done here, at some point, or somebody, I'm not saying it's the tech, but somebody has gotten a metal lever under here or something, and went flick, and they've broken those two diodes clean off. Fortunately, they're just protection diodes, but it's not the right thing to do to a board. Yep, okay, I'm going to take the CPU heatsink off. A Bunty, which is struggling to change Thunderbolt IC on a 164 board. Ah, yeah, that's a fairly high density chip, that one, in terms of BGA density. Easy to get it misaligned. That's the problem. That is the problem with the bigger they get with the, for a given pitch, the easier it is to misalign them. Stuart's letting us all know. Yep. Speaking of moment of silence, we had a baby lorikeet fall out of nest yesterday. Poor thing will not fly. Put him in the cage overnight, but didn't make it. Oh, it was flapping around in the morning. No, it should be fine. If the feathers are, I can't decide whether that has already been pulled off or not. It came up very clean, but I didn't feel any pressure on it. We get a good number of birds around here, and they're just running around on the ground level and whatnot, but they're okay. The parents are nearby watching. And so long as they can sort of hop around and get up in trees and stuff like that, and they usually do survive. Well, I sincerely don't believe that changing those diodes is going to do diddly squat, because like I said, they are just protection diodes. But at this point I'm sort of, I don't have anything to really go by here. It's all taken away from me. We'll have a look at an edge on, see if we get anything. Yeah, see if we can spot any previous indications of corrosion. And for those playing at home, it's a 1521. These PMICs can be a real pain in the butt. I've got an M1 that I can't solve. It heats up. Sorry, when you heat up the PMIC area, it runs for 30 seconds or so, and then it just goes back to dying. And I don't know if it's the PMIC or the board or what. It's one of those faults that I haven't been able to nail down, and I have been working on that thing for way too long already, but it just keeps calling me back. Hey Kenny, wouldn't I'm almost willing to give the ISL another shot, because that one's got a chip in it. But I'm not sure I can actually, I'm not sure I can actually justify the replacement, in the sense of what would even cause this behavior. Maybe I've got a short on the board. Maybe the CPU should. Anyway, like I said, I'm just looking around to see if I can spot anything. But at this point it does look like the person essentially just went through their checklist. Like, check CD3215s, okay, all good. Check this, okay, all good. If can't fix, replace ISL, all good. If that doesn't work, if the other things, reflow T2, if that doesn't work, give up. And I can't blame him really for that. The only thing I can genuinely bitch about is the damage that they've done to this, the protection diodes. And again, they're not actually going to stop this thing from working. Ah, crap. Which ones were they? Now we're going to have to get out of here. Right, that one. And that one. It's entirely possible too that when they clean the board using the alcohol and toothbrush combination, it's entirely possible that stuff got under the CPU or under the PMIC or similar, and it hasn't been washed out properly. Did I get my new heat gun? You're looking at it. Once I got told about the standby facility, everything worked out good. And try not to melt the connector, obviously. See if we can get some Jason Vilma level flux. I'm not using a toothpick, so I'm kind of at a disadvantage. I'm going to end up more like a Lewis Rossman. Okay, I've actually still got a part of the diode on there. Be careful getting that off. If you wonder why I leave a big blob of solder on the tip sometimes, it's convenient as a thermal mass, because obviously these tips don't carry a lot of heat, but if you blob it up with some solder, the solder basically acts as a thermal mass. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a bit of assistance here. Okay, so the fingers are burning, that's a good start. Hey Leila Ramos. Fortunately, religious adherence to watching my stuff is purely optional. Yep, Bridget, Paul. That's really great. Bridget. Alright, with those removed, let's just see if we draw anything reasonable on this. Let's see. Yep, once again, I'm not prepared. It'd be funny if it turns out it's actually the USB-C input flex. But we are getting 20 volts. Could be the audio connector as well, or yeah, there's a few things on this board that can, the chassis I should say, that can influence how this behaves. I'm just going to cool it off a bit more. Hey Kenmo. Stuart means you have a 1708 that I replaced the screen as it was cracked. Now there is no backlight and the fuse is blown. Ew. That's a little weird. Like a faulty T-Con board maybe? I don't know. Yeah, Billman's about the second smallest board that they made. The smallest being the A1534. As for the FLIR, yeah, we don't really have any reason to be using it yet. And there's sufficiently few rails on this that we probably could find a short if we wanted, just by manually digging around. Okay. I notice it does take a while to pick up to the 20. Okay, so 100, 130, 110, 60. Yeah, it's a little odd. So it starts out trying, then gives up. Sounds like me. Sounds like me trying to fix boards. Purchase the whole assembly brand new screen which came with the new T-Con board. Yes, do it. That sounds like an expensive issue that you're going to be running into shortly. I feel very sorry for you having to have to deal with that. It's certainly stuff of nightmares, financial nightmares, because those are still like $400 or $500 a screen. We are checking the resistances for the CPU and the GPU. 10.2, they should all be about the same. Yeah, 10.2. Okay, 13. That must be a GPU, different one. So top two are 10.2, then 13, and 13. So 13s and 10s, and I should just bring up a board view, which will tell me anyway. Needless to say that it's not exactly short circuit material by any means. But that's not to say that the board isn't damaged, the CPU isn't damaged internally. Do I have any OB data? I got 147 points. Oh, how can I not have any data for that? That's despicable. Who's in control of this? Okay, 151. Someone added some data. Hey, I wonder if it was me. Okay. Nothing for phase 1, that's weird. Yeah, but yeah, we got 13 on... nothing there. Wow, lazy... Oh, here we go. And 12. So 13 and 12, so the CPU's a little on the lower side, but that could just be because it's warmer or something like that. And 13. So they, in my opinion, that seems okay. So we don't explicitly have a CPU short. Again, like I said, it doesn't mean that the CPU isn't dead, it just means we don't have an actual short. All we've done is eliminated one possible failure, and not much else. I'm just going to quickly probe around. That's what he said. What is this crap again? Come on, stabby, 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 stabby. Okay. Yep, good. I'm not even bothering with the board view, I'm just very quickly going around and trying... Okay. 8.8, that's probably one of the CPU rails, so that's okay. Yeah, that pair there, I'm fairly sure we're going to find that that's GPU phase or something like that. Yep, that'll explain that. Evening B blood. Look, at this point, the first thing I would consider replacing, just to get a sense of normality, is this ISL. It's got a little bit of a chip on the left-hand front lower corner. Now, it's not really a lot to go by, and quite frankly, I think it's probably going to be pointless, as we're not going to have any gain, but I'm willing to give it a try. Hey, Teresa. So really, I'm essentially doing what they did. Go along and blindly replace things. And we will keep this ISL on standby. Looks a little messy there. I'm just going to check some resistances. Hmm. 2.4. I'm not sure if this one's supposed to be quite this low. 0.8. Where am I? Ah, here we go. Looks like I've mapped out the U7000 quite extensively. Alright. Oh, okay, that's... yeah, okay, that's a 10 milliohm shunt. And because I was measuring at the shunt side, it will show up as pretty much 0. If I measure on the other side of those two resistors, it should come up as 2 ohms. So if I measure over here, we should get 2 ohms. Yep, that's all good. Alright, we'll put another ISL on. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. At least I think I'm using that term correctly. Normal repair for this one. Ach, niemand. This is the last of my unreworked ISL 9240s. After this I have to go back and start reballing old ones. Which reminds me, I actually shouldn't take that out yet. I need to clear up all those pads. Getting ahead of myself, I'm afraid. Tweezers. Get a little bit of flux. Yeah, Miles, I've actually already ordered another 10 or 20, I can't remember. I've ordered a few. And then when they get here, I'll order more. I don't like to order too many at once, just in case they F up the order. Okay, that looks pretty tolerable. Hey, Rilla. I do have... oh, shite. I do have known good pulls of other ISL 9240s, ones where I've replaced them. Found it didn't make a damn bit of difference on the board, so I know that the original, well, I assume the original that was on there should be good. That is a bit of an assumption. But yeah, it is good that we can order them now as, you know, unique individual chips. So I bought a bunch of 9239s, 9240s, 3215s, TMP 416s. If you're wondering what they are, they're temperature sensors for these chips. Well, not so much temperature sensors, but they're part of the sensing circuit. Anyway, I needed them. And a couple of other things like ON1As or something like that. Just obscure little chips that aren't present on the older boards, so I need to... Okay. I kind of went a bit wonky, that one. Give them time, Miles, give them time. Mind you, to be fair, they stuck with the ISL, you know, what was it? The 965 or whatever it is. They stuck with that for nearly a decade. Just published a video on Siglent's top secret user calibration process for their multimeters. Are you being facetious or legit? The reason why it sounds beefy is because it's got a helical blade in it, and it spirals the air. Apparently it has great health benefits or something, and that's why it sounds beefy. It's not because it's blowing any more air than, say, the Quick. It's just that because it's spinning the air. Right, so there we go. What bothers me here is that how long it takes to switch over to 20 volts. Now, straight to 64, 65. This is probably a PMIC failure. Oh, I don't know. I'm just talking bollocks. Uh, 63. Okay. Very real likelihood this is a dead T2 or something. I'm going to go through and compare the ISL values, the diode mode values, and see if there's any discrepancies. What? Ah, god damn it. The fun thing with the ISLs being a BGA, you can't get access to everything straight up. You know, like that pin 1, we can't actually check that from here. This one we can. Pin 2 is 0.45. Not unless we dig under the chip. Okay, that's close enough. 0.57. Yeah, that's 0.54. It's not really enough. 0.55. It's not enough of a deviation to make me worry. 0.57. So basically, these are the same. This is a mirrored input. It's probably going to be the same again. 0.45. Yep. You know what? Easier for me to do it this way. Is there a cap missing there? That's 6. Let's see if that's a no stuff. Well, it's not a no stuff, but it's also... it's probably not supremely important, but it's not a no stuff, so that's actually being knocked off. Yeah, QFN is definitely easier. 0.38. Like I said, I'm not too concerned whether it's a little bit higher or a little bit low. 0.6. You're looking for something that's wildly out of place in most cases. There are some times where the fault legitimately is just a teeny tiny variation. 5.2, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is the current detect section. 0.53, yep, that's fine. 0.42. So I'm probably wasting my time here. 0.43, 0.44. But I suppose that's what we're doing here, these videos, wasting everybody's time. It helped my mouse was a little more stable. Okay, well, we may have something there, or is it just me being... Ah. It was just me. Okay, we actually don't have any data for that BPBAT fuse. 1.38, it's fairly high. Test points, these golden test points, they are actually what I think we should focus more on using more and more. They're very easy to utilize, they tend to have important lines. So 0.6, 0.62, it's close enough. BPBus G3 Heart. 4, yep, it's fine. Like if you're going to make a machine to do testing of boards, you would be going for using all of the test pads rather than trying to land your pins on component ends. Okay, unfortunately we don't have any data for that one. That's disappointing. Normally I go through and when I do a new board capture, I actually added a feature into Flexboard View for the open board capture where you can gather up all the test pins in an area. Because like I said, I think it's the easiest way of getting important data that's very quick for everybody to test. Yeah, see, I've missed out all the good things like Allsys Power Good, 3V, you know, G3 Heart, all of these things here. They're really important rails to have, and I haven't bothered to capture them. They're just the things you learn as you go along. Let's see which ones I do have. .33 Prim core. There really needs to be a resistance check, that one. VCC Prim core is actually a bit lower on this. Not sure why. Could be a different CPU. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we checked beam 1 already. Nine, 6.2, yeah. Good enough. Good enough. Oh yeah, software is almost... Even Hello World can be dragged out. We're getting to the point now we're going to have to basically power it up and see what rails we stop at. So So far as I can tell, this section here is fine. Yeah, we're getting our 20 volts. Like I said, it just lags a little bit with getting that 20 volts. I really hope that TPS 51908 980 did not have a snafu. That would be very upsetting. I wonder if they changed the 95828. Can't quite tell if they swapped that. I'll take the display connector off. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, jobs like this turn into a real time waste. Strictly from a business perspective, this one's sort of a case of send it back, can't fix. You know, so maybe you can fix it, but in terms of business, it's a waste of time. Yeah, we've already been at it for an hour, I think, 46 minutes. And the worst thing is, yeah, we've got a board that's been worked on before, it's been washed. We don't know the original symptoms. Okay, I'm guessing, okay, our ISL must be okay, even though it was chipped on the other one. Because it was charging the battery. Rail time. Maybe the USB-C controller's causing the lag. Maybe. I don't know. Go to page 1. From book 1, go. Hey Carlos. Stuart, no, it doesn't look like they've replaced the 3215s. Pardon me, that looks about the only thing that they haven't changed. I'm just looking for power aliases. Power aliases, page 120. 120, go. That is not page 120. Where is the rest of this document? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, it's page 121 of 145, but it's sheet 76 of 85. That's interesting. Create a favorite. This is power 1. Create power 2. Okay, well, plug power in and let's just tootle through. Let's try to set it up so it doesn't move around too much. The other thing I'm going to do is set up my ground to be clipped on. Voltage mode. No, the FLIR's not going to be any use to us right now. Don't you dare let go. $12.6. What? PV bus high side CPU 12.6. Oh right, okay. Don't. For some reason I was sick. Ignore the man in front of you. He apparently doesn't know anything. $20 volts. $5.12. It's actually running a little bit high. 5.12. I would accept, 5.05 or something like that. But 5.12, that's almost, that's almost 3% over. So that's running a little bit high. The LDO. Yeah, that's off that. Hey, where is that chip? Oh yeah, it's up the top of this TP. 5.128. Again, running a little high. $12.6. It's interesting they list it as actually being a 13.1 volt rail. 6. You start to see what I mean about test pads being more useful. Okay, 3v3. See, 3v3 is bang on correct. Okay, I'll be very surprised if the WAN's got the wireless has got anything to do with anything at this point, but we'll check it anyway. 3.29, ever so slightly. It's okay. $12.29. $12.29. Was that legitimately 12.29 and then it jumped up to 12.6? Or was it just me holding the button wrong? Six. So yeah, RTC, inductor, non-existent chip, resistor, there, right. 3.3. Might just turn off, it's showing me those OB data lines. Three. Zero. This may not be coming up. It may not actually be activated. I'm not sure, because it does say it's enabled by another chip. It's not there. Have you ever tired of doing this level? Oh yeah, plenty of time. Oh, have you ever tried doing this level of repair on an iMac before? Oh no, sorry. Funny how I can misread things so badly. Alright, so we don't seem to have 3v3 this rail here. But it's sourced from 3v3 G3 RTC, and I know we had that rail, but it's enabled by sensor power enable. So we're probably just not getting to that state. Steve K, seems like you're all well set up there. Yeah, we do have that 3v3 rail, this G3S. Oh, this is the inductor that's not an inductor. We've got nothing there. No Thunderbolt enabled though, probably. Yeah, nothing there. Nan 2v7. Yeah, you can all start fighting over who knew me the longest. Alright. Now, so this is definitely a concern. I don't know what to think of this. So we've got 2v5 or 2.5 volts on a rail that should be 2.7. So it sort of implicates that the we've got a problem with the NAND. Because that's a little bit low. Could it's doing a whole bunch of cycling still. But if you had a shorted NAND, it would drag that much closer to zero. So we're losing a little over 10%. But it may just simply be because it hasn't booted fully, so yeah, I don't have a reference on this. Annoying. One point eight. 1.8's fine. Hey Warren. Steve, yeah, I've got a NAND that's doing a little bit of leaking, maybe. I'm thinking it's more a NAND doing a bit of leaking. The hell, I'm blind. What? Oh, right, no wonder I'm blind. Come back here. You're supposed to hold on to that ground for dear life. Come back here. Right. So we got no VCore at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we get a momentary VCore. So we'll switch it off. Doesn't even get there. Nope. Yeah, so I'm not sure what to think about this. Clearly I'm not competent enough to solve this one. Just gonna see if we've got any LDDs. Oh, not LDDs. Now I'm talking genuine gibberish. LDOs. I'll see if I've got any LDOs from the PMIC that are active. Point 8. Well, that's correct. But there's not a lot of power going anywhere, that's the problem. .93. It's supposed to be 0.1.06 volts for VDD, this PVDD awake. Oh, gee, that bit. We got 0.93. That's a particularly unusual value. So like I said, I'm just floundering here. I'm sort of hoping for a stunning bolt of clarity, but Okay, see 106, that's correct. But 938, that's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, so... Yeah. Point 82's right. Point 8. Hey, 6 skill. I am thinking I might make a feature for this that only highlights test points. Okay, 1.8, that's fine. Yeah, because right now, when you click everything on the net, yeah, you get all the different part numbers. But when you're doing this sort of work, you really do just want the test point, or a test point, assuming one exists. That's the other thing. I'll have to make sure that I make it so it says, well, if a test point exists, we'll go for it. If it doesn't, then, yeah, fine. 1v8 awake is alive. Okay, and we don't have VCC Prim. Source from Sleep S2R, enabled by nothing. Now, I genuinely feel like I don't know what I'm doing at this point now. We don't have 1v8S3. Do we have any other S3 rails? Sleep S2R is fine. Yeah, so we don't have 1v8S3. At least not that I can tell. Unless I just misjudged what I was measuring. No, we don't have that. You just see if it pops up at all. No, it's not even trying to come up. Okay. Alright, I'm disconnecting power. It is cycling, as in I can see it going from 60 to 110 and back down to 60. So it's trying to do something, but it's just not getting anywhere. I do have a feeling at this point it could well be... bad storage chip. $2K on that, that's fine. Again, it's a PMIC. I'm pretty sure it's a PMIC output, yeah. Source from 1v8 Sleep S2R. Why am I missing 2 resistors from top and bottom? What are you talking about? Which 2 resistors? That's delightfully unhelpful. Gavin, what you're probably seeing is flux bubbles. There are a lot of flux bubbles on this board. So like they're just little crystalline bubbles of flux. I mean, we're missing a cap there, but that's sincerely thinking that's not going to influence things, not to this degree. To the left of the test point. Oh, you mean there and there? They're just no stuffs. Just like we've got none there and there and there and there and there and there. Yeah, they're just no stuffs. And they would actually probably be capacitors, I'd imagine. This here is the data balanced input, whether it's current sense or whatever. I can try to change the 95828. I'm just not sure if I've got many of them around. So really at this point I'm being as bad as the person I was criticising before. I think the funniest thing's going to be if I find out that I was actually the person who worked on this previously. It's entirely plausible. Oof, almost wiped out all those side parts. Almost did a Tim Herman. But yes, this is a rather crowded chip. It's a frustrating chip to deal with because it has a lot of... you got to heat things up a lot to get it off. That ground pad really just holds things down. Just want to get rid of some of the excess ground pad solder here. Okay, now I'm fairly sure I got one of those chips somewhere recently too. Trying to think what the hell it was that I actually was working on to take it from. You, sir, do not look like a big enough chip. Yeah, that's the TPS one. Ugh. Come on, man. Come on. That's you. Nope. I know there should be some around because I really had to scrounge to find them. So they're not really the most common chip yet for me. Oh, no, you're just a... Damn it. And it's not a chip that I would toss out either. At least not knowingly. Son of a... Yeah. Schematics. Wait, what? What? Wrong chip. That threw me. Hey, surging circuits. See if I've got one on this board. Yeah, I did have one on this board and I took it. Damn it. God damn it. I am my own worst enemy here. 239. I've got one donor of those and I know that that is missing it. Oh, the 244 has it. Oh, that's right. I remember stealing the living daylights out of those. And I also seem to recall that that's because I mostly have 45s which don't have it, as far as I remember. So the 244 is actually the rare board to find. And chances are I've actually already nicked it from the probably one 244 I have. That's right, Gecko. That's some seriously funny stuff. I'm just going to double check on the 45s. Yeah, 45 does not have it. Much sadness. 45 is actually a comparatively useless board in all honesty. Yep, not surprised when I see it on that. Come on, man. Weißt it. Doesn't really matter at this point. I'm not doing that much, but thanks for reminding me. I've got a couple of boards here that have no name, so I'm... Well, what do you know? There was one there, and Mr. Daniels has gone and stolen it like a grave robber in the night, leaving an empty coffin and disappointed relatives. Hey, what's this? 95828, is that what we're after? 95828. Holy dooly, we actually found one, and this is right at the edge of the board. Just going to see if I got another one. So we got that one there. Nearly? What is wrong with me? And looks like there was one there too. Oh wait, no, that was a... whatever that is. But that looks like there was one there. So somehow I have been stealing these chips from boards and not buying replacements. That's very naughty of me. Hello, Sonia. You've been comparatively absent lately. Needless to say, I am going to have to remind myself to buy, say, like 10 or 20. Buy myself a few of these before the night is out. Well, that actually came off fairly easier than I expected. The poor thing, it was probably ready to come off 30 seconds beforehand, and I was just sitting there cooking it. Okay, this one's going to need cleaning up. You see all those little orange bits? They're actually the pads and tracks from the circuit board. And the reason why they're there is because you could see that that board had been snapped at that point. Oh yeah, just down the outside. And so what happened is all the traces were just simply, sitting loose, as it were. Okay, just grab onto that so I can get a bit more purchase. That's good. Yeah, so they were sitting loose from the brake. It didn't damage the actual chip pads, it just made the circuit board delaminate. I will tell you now, I'm not a fan of this chip, as in not a fan of trying to get these ones to line up. They are no fun at all. Give me an SMC over this any day. Right, we've got a lump of solder somewhere on the ground pad. We're going to have to work out, as in literally squeeze out. And then we have to collect that excess, and then we have to reflow it again. And like I said, SMC's much easier. And after all this, it's not going to change a damn thing. It's not going to change a damn thing because we didn't earn the right to have it work. Because we didn't do the work to get it right. Time for a cup of tea with lemon, something like that, yes. And the CPU's right there on the other side. It's like, how do you do, CPU? Fancy seeing you here. Alright, we're a smidge out of alignment, but fortunately it's within the standard smidge compliance. At least in that direction. Now we've got to check in the orthogonal direction. Fancy word for saying turn at 90 degrees. Ow! And this thing is warm. It's, yeah, still a smidge off. That's actually, no, that's no good. That's no good at all. Welcome to me hating these chips. So basically this edge here is riding too high, and you can kind of see that. The trouble is when you try to tap that down, yeah, it almost never works. I don't like having all this heat around these caps either. They really have a tendency of... You'll often smell it before you hear it. Ah, that's better. That actually did align itself moderately well. Hey DJC4. Hey, g'day ZX. Oh, what movie were we talking about? Hey, Mr. Magna, welcome. Just waiting for this board to cool down a bit. Young Frankenstein. Oh, Young Einstein, I remember. Not so much Young Frankenstein. Yeah, with Yahoo Serious. This board is basically hovering in my fingertips. Alright, let us now watch the grand achievement of nothing gained, except a bit more frustration. Yep, same thing. I don't know what to think of this. I really don't. I've got no hints because I don't know what was wrong before. I'm basically just wasting my time. And I'm just telling people that, but I'm not actually doing anything about it, am I? As I said, what bothers me is that the T2's been reflowed. So maybe it's going into DFU mode for all I know. Somehow I don't believe that. If I didn't know better, I would have said that that resistor there and that resistor there have very slight burn marks on them. Not something present on any of the other ones around here, but there's definitely like a hot spot burn mark there and a hot spot burn mark there. Hey, at this point I'm willing to try almost anything short of a clairvoyant. I'm just going to rotate it off and see what its value is. Hey Sabatino, what do you guys recommend for ticketing point of sale inventory? I use my own software, something I wrote over the last 20 odd years. And it's terrible, but I'm so used to it. It's not something I would recommend to anybody. Okay, so it's this resistor here. That'd be really weird for that to be showing signs of damage, but anyway. So 2.2. And it's pretty much on, yeah, 2.3. That's close enough to 2.2. And the other one is 7293. It's also a 2.2. Can't really rotate this one off, so I'm just going to have to take it out. Notice how I just shoved everything around. Okay, I'm playing a dangerous game here. Although, I do know obviously what the value is, so I can replace it, but... Oh, for goodness sake, get off... There we go. U7000 MacBook Pro 15-inch fit the Pro. Yeah, you mean like the ISL 6295 or whatever it is? I cannot hold this steady. Ah. Yep, 2.2. Okay, so they've got a little bit of an apparent burn on them, but they're actually fine. And that's why it can be so tricky. Like, if people get a good look at the board, and yeah, they've been a backseat repair person, they'll be like, oh, you know, there's that's burned, and that's burned, and that's burned, and many a time it's just not. It's just natural variations. But I guess this is the problem. We're getting into the desperate phase, and so we're becoming the ooh, you know, maybe that's it. Hilarious. I can't even get the tweezers down there. Oh man. Okay, I'm just gonna have to. I was just cooking the CPU then. Ach nee, man. See if we can get it this way. Okay. I don't know if these PMICs have any. Yeah, I could try to change that crystal. I've heard that crystal drops out occasionally. It's a shot in the dark, but you never know. And unfortunately, I think it's too high in pins that I can't even get the multimeter on it to test to see if it is running or not. The fun thing about this is that the replacement crystal comes from an iPhone 4. At least I think it does. It's a 1.6 by 1 crystal. .60. I can pretty much just search for that and it should be fine. Not many schematics will have that combination. I mean, other than ones that have this chip. But I'm waiting for the iPhone one to come up. There we go. Success. Oh, the 6S has got it. That's right. Yeah. Stop. There we go. Y2200 in the 6S. Okay, get ourselves a 6S. Four-S, 6S. Dressed for success. Yeah, DJ, it's the same board view software. There we go. Only downside is it's kind of nested up. Hey, interesting. Is that the same PMIC? 338 SO152. Okay, slightly different number. Same sort of thing. These are 338 SO267s. And these are 152s. That's really... So basically these MacBooks are becoming iPhones. Which is something I said a while ago. But hey, we can all say a million things and then, you know, if one or two of them turn out to be true, that doesn't make us a predictor of the future. It just makes us someone who says a lot of things and gets lucky occasionally. Kind of like me at a bar. Where's the Grim Reaper? Ah, there it is. It's hiding. You can see, John, you're just not looking hard enough. Yeah, Riston, it is quite plausible. Certainly not out of the realm of... Yeah, it's possible. I would not like to have to change this PMIC on an iPhone, honestly. I think it would be easier just to shift the CPU and RAM and everything like that to another machine. Look how tough this stuff is. And this is at 330. Okay, I'm just butchering everything because I don't care. Knuckles care. Knuckles say ouch. Come on, man. I can see you moving. Oh, after all that, I fucked it. I mean, I'm Oh no, I didn't. It's just the circuit board did. How dare I swear like that? That's inappropriate. Dear YouTube algorithm, I apologize for my inappropriate swearing. It's not that we know the clock's not ticking, it's just that I know occasionally it is a cause. That's really disgusting. Whoops. This doesn't work. I'm going to go. I'm going to work on a 3115. I've got to do a BIOS change on it. It's going to be a hell of a lot more sane than this. Ah, it was taunting me there for a second, but no, it's back to the same. So it wasn't that. Crap on a dagger. I'm actually going to take that off because I don't. You know, it's that was brutalized pretty badly. It's obviously way too much solder for that. DA 849, eh? DA 849. Yep, I know, I can see the bridge. And the other one, I'm looking at it, don't worry. See, I saw it. So many people lacking so much confidence. The alignment of the T2 looks good enough. I don't think they tried to move it or anything like that. I think they just gave it a shot at reheating it. What happened? Lewis had Nan over for her birthday last week and did not end well. Who's Nan? I have barely spoken to Lewis in quite some time now. I swear I've seen that pattern before, the way it drops down. Okay. In terms of the current, the way it sort of goes 20 volts and then tapers down on the current. I swear I've seen that particular sequence pattern before. But naturally, of course, my brain... Well, my brain is a brain and it's not doing a very good job today. I did other things today though. I went down to the rubbish tip, the dump. Said goodbye to the disassembled cat pee infused pantry cupboard, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. It was a bit amusing. There was a lot of wind down at the dump, and as I was trying to throw away my cardboard boxes, they were getting blown downwind and they were striking the person who was trying to dump their rubbish a little bit further down. Thing is, I don't think they actually realised it was my rubbish that was hitting them, because yeah, they're just thinking, yeah, the rubbish is flying around regardless. But I was trying really hard to make sure it didn't go down their way, but there was a lot of strength in that wind today. Right, that's a sad tale. Let's get to the 3115, and at least I can, hopefully have a win. I've just got to go get my BIOS transfer boards. I won't be a second. Alright, 3115 board, where are you? Oh. Okay. This is a replacement board for... You remember the one that we were only able to get one USB port running? And the other one was dead inside the PCH? Alright, so we're replacing it with this particular board. I already did a lot of rework on this board, mostly just cap replacements from a typical sort of coastal corrosion type thing. It wasn't too bad, but I just cleaned it up enough to make me feel confident about the board. Put it through the ultrasonic, nice fresh tank of ultrasonic fluid too, so it's done a rather nice job of cleaning up the board. Like, it's particularly shiny and new looking. Okay, we're going this one here. That's truly a disgusting looking transfer board, but what do I care? As long as it does the job. Nice day for a BIOS transfer. Here. It's like iPhone repairers. Nice day for a TriStar replacement. Ach, nee man. Don't make me bring out the hot air to achieve my goals. And that's as bad as some soldering I've seen on some GPUs. Oh yeah, this definitely could go into the ultrasonic. Every now and then I do put all my stuff in. Rightio. That there is a prime example of how not to solder, and it's a prime example of the sort of terrible soldering that we see on some repairs. If you solder like that, and you consider it good and a repair, I will come and I will bite something of yours. I don't know what yet, but I'll find something to bite, because that's really terrible to do soldering like that and give it back to the customer. Okay, it's locked in. Morning. Nice day for fishing. Oh, g'day, Jason. Nope, don't recall your soldering being that bad. I actually never had to see. No. Is that your soldering? I don't know. But by the way, Jason, did you send that board, or are we still holding? I know I didn't give you a clear answer. Let's see. Schematics. History, grip, mini. Aha. Cedar, mini, pro, W, job, SP. Well, I don't use a clip because clips suck. Okay. The best way to get this software to tell you what chip that you have is to tell it to try and write something that you don't have, and then it says, maybe you mean this chip, and you're like, yes, why didn't you tell me that originally? You sent it. Ah, okay. Well, I guess we're going to see how it goes. The man with the GPU card fixes... Oh, yeah, that one with the... where he changed the resistors. He basically just doubled up his shunt to let it do twice the current. I used to use clips a lot for when I was doing the manufacturing, and so I would reflow my product with the unprogrammed chip on them, and then I would use the clip to program that chip. And honestly, it was such a major pain in the backside. It was a pain. It really was a pain. Yeah. Even good quality 3M clips, they just, with tiny chips like this, it just doesn't work. It does for a little bit, but then it becomes harder and harder. You're better off... It was actually more reliable for me to get one of... Let's go to the quad display. It was more reliable for me to get one of these sort of boards. Cut out a bit of circuit board or something with a recess that would let the chip sit in there just and have a pretty good alignment. Push down on the chip, hit enter to program, and it would be more reliable than using the damn clip. Pick on new text. Oh, okay, I'll have a look at that later. EVGA replaced it for him? Seriously? No way. Damn. Well, that's the joy of fame, I guess. It's kind of like when Lewis drowned his Lenovo, and not a lot happened to it, and they said, no worries, we'll replace that. But you know, if it was just a pleb like me or someone else, they'd be like, ah ha ha, get fucked. And yeah, they'd just tell us to go kick rocks. You know they wouldn't be that nice to us. Yep, Tony Nash also hates clips. Yeah, I think we're talking about J2 Sense, yeah. Ah, shame. Tony's thing got killed. But yeah, even on normal dip, 0.1 pitch chips, even then it's difficult because there's always corrosion, misalignments. Yeah, it's just difficult. So yeah, for programming chips, I just like to get the bare pads, push down on it. Of course, the only trouble is that it's okay for doing short programs, things that only take like 5 seconds to program maybe. But if you've got something that's going to take 30 seconds to flash, then yeah, it's probably going to be a bit of a pain. Yeah, they'd never have done it for everyday Joes. But like I said, obviously the company wants to maintain a good image, so even if it's not necessarily a genuine image, of course they're going to replace the products of people with a lot of exposure. It's the perfect thing to do. You'd be stupid not to. Well, yeah, I mean, Lewis has an interesting pull on the community. I think the good thing with Lewis is that he doesn't do paid reviews. He will kick products in the guts, not mentioning any USB microscopes or crazy 1800s looking hot air stations. But it's good that Lewis does that, and I guess I sort of do the same. Always have as well. I just do not feel comfortable promoting products that are being paid to promote. Like if I like a product, I will promote the living daylights out of it, and you don't have to pay me anything for it. I'll do it if I believe in it. But if I don't believe in it, then you're not going to get me paying money to. So I think it was Union Repair or someone recently was sending a bunch of emails asking everybody if they want to review this new fantastic product that helps diagnose boards extra quick. I was like, no thanks. It's like, it's just, nah. You can send me something, and if that's the other thing, if I get round to actually trialing it, and if I like it, then I will definitely promote the living daylights out of that product for you. Oh my god, lead-free solder can be so bad sometimes. You're probably wondering why I'm not doing this with flux. It's because I've ultrasonic the board. I don't want to mess it up too much. And I have failed to remember what the orientation is. Pin 1 bottom right, okay. Where did my chip go? Is this my chip? I think that's my chip. I think I might clean up my chip before I put it on. The chip's so dirty, it doesn't deserve to be on that nicely clean board. To be fair, it was only dirty because of the programming carrier. Gonna let it get hot enough to sink into the solder, and then I'm gonna touch it up. Because right now those connections are terrible. Right now they're just begging to suffer cold joins and things like that. So now we're going to use the smallest amounts of flux possible. Okay, that's pretty good. Excellent. Now hopefully I got the ME region right on this one, and hopefully I got the serial number right. As we'll find out quick enough. For some reason I thought I had a pair of RAM sticks for this. I've got one stick, but I actually want two because otherwise it'll take forever to boot. Ah, there we go. No, you don't seem right. Okay, you say Mac OK there. Nope, they're definitely not a pair. They're just a pair of dregs, that's all. Hanging out on my shelf. Pretending that they were MacBook RAMs. I suppose one of them is. The other one was just, a bad tag along. Oh, what are you? Good God, I've got too many computers around here. What is this? Ooh, okay. It's like every time I turn around, there's another random computer that I've forgotten about. Oh wow, your 1 gig sticks. You're about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Oh, come on, sodium 3s. So many chocolate teapots. It's gonna go in the other room. You just hate me, don't you, computer? Unbelievable. Yeah, normally I can't help but trip over memory stick pairs. And here I am at the bottom of my... Oh, wow, that's just amazing. At the bottom of my stack of 13 inches and the bottom of my stack of 15 inches and not a single stick pair anywhere. It's got to be a COVID conspiracy. I mean, what in the living? Like I said, normally I can't turn anywhere without running into a bunch of sticks. This is hilariously embarrassing. Oh wow, I found one stick. Okay, that's good. It's probably the other stick of that pair. Alright. It's very unusual to just have a single 2 gig stick in these machines out of factory. Okay, we're not going to do a full rebuild at the moment. We're just... Is this the right job? Yes, it is. Yep, gotta double check those things too. Let's get this battery out because it's only going to make it more difficult for me to get things, the main board reinstalled. Just remember not to give you 2 sticks of... Yeah, well, like I said, I should have 5 or 6 pairs around here. That's the infuriating thing. There should be absolutely no shortage of them, and yet when you want them, nowhere to be found. Oh, that trackpad always snares me. Okay. And then there's another one under here. Wait, where have you gone? You are snared as well. Ah. The battery indicator sense flex. Looks like it's actually been crushed from... Oh, this one's actually been torn off. Alright, so it looks like we've got other things to do here. This one's been torn off. Now I know that didn't happen because of me, but fortunately I've got enough spare chassis around that I can just, you know, swap that out, put one in. Interestingly, it is actually a facility that can make your entire machine drop dead. God damn, that was funny. Just as I said your entire machine dropped dead, that just fell from the screen, from the ceiling. Oh, he's alive. You were just pretending to be dead. You were acting the part. Well done. Oh, God, he's dead now. Oh, you poor little bug. That's terrible. Let's see if he comes back out. Whoops. He got sucked into the fume extractor. No. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I'm sorry, little bug. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your loss, but that was just terrible timing, really. And if I hadn't have like kept harassing him and just sort of quickly put him to the side, he probably would have lived. So that, unfortunately, that tragically is on me. Yeah, that one's on me. Like I said, it was just really bad Greek tragedy type timing. He may come out yet, but somehow, judging by the sound that I heard up there, it's not a good sign. Now we've got the guilty silence here as I think about what I've done. Obviously we're going to leave the SSD disconnected. We will plug the fan in, because I'm a fan of that. I'm sorry, Bugsy. I'm sorry. It was not the way you should have ended things. We ended on such bad terms. That's right. I hate this. I've got to do this all skew because of the MagSafe connector. Okay, 18 volts. Yeah, see you, Hyperman. Don't suffer too much at work tomorrow. Just think of it. Just think you had a night out with the boys or something. No, I don't know. Oh, you shitting me. This has got a 3 beep frickin' bad slot. I reworked you and you give me bad slot beeps. I hate you. This is turning into probably what should have been last week with Halloween. Would have been appropriate. 3 beep bad slot. What the hell? I can only hope it was just a bad stick. Why does fixing a 165 feel like hollow victory? It shouldn't. It's still a perfectly good fix. What's wrong with the 165 fix? Why are you undermining the things that I value? Did you just reboot, you bastard? Of course you do, because I flashed the BIOS. God damn it. Ah. I'm really hoping it's just a bad stick. Because I'm fairly sure that it had no problems before when I was testing it. Anyway, still, one slot failures are such a common thing for these boards that we do just get used to shoving a 4 gig stick into one slot or an 8 gig stick. So it's not the end of the world by any means. It's just more like well, looks like that part of its body fell off already. I think the bigger problem here for me is that it's messing with my ability to gauge the performance of the machine. So I can't ascertain if directly, at least not immediately, if the ME region is messed up or not. Yeah, Jason, that's why I do them all the time. C1MHTTL, okay. Well, let's see if my... Ugh, this is taking forever. It's probably paging like hell. It's killing my USB stick because it'll be paging all of the memory onto the stick. And yeah, the lack of battery doesn't help it either. Wow, that's slow. Even the cap locks took a while to come up. Ah. It's gonna put this dead. I pretty much think I'm just gonna have to walk away from that 1932. We all know it's probably dead T2, so we're just gonna have to accept it. It is the hard thing to do. What is this? Job 310. Oh man. I'm an embarrassment for my industry. Okay, you're locked up now. There you go. Hey, 555. I'm almost certain the ME region on this is botched up. I did get a clean ME region, but for some reason when I went in to I have to put the serial number and then I put in the new checksum, the new it just didn't seem right. Oh, for goodness sake, you're killing me here. We'll put the battery in and then we'll try that stick again. So we know that stick definitely works. We don't know if this one definitely works. So you're 1200, okay, they're both 12.8 or whatever it is. Get some juice. Have to retain the battery, otherwise you can be guaranteed as I do this, I will forget that the battery was not retained, and yeah, they'll just tear the board out, do all sorts of things. Please no 3 beep. Please, alsjeblieft. That's better. Okay, maybe it was just a bad insertion. This is 2012. It's a 3115. So yeah, the 3115 is a decent board. It is getting a little bit old, but it's still a decent board. This is feeling slow to me. I'm pretty sure the ME is no good. We'll see. Well, yeah, that came up quick. Let's have a look. Things are much better with a battery and 4 gigs of RAM rather than 2. I'm still not... Okay. Let's see, what have we got? 2 DTY3. So the serial number is correct. Hey Ed Boss, welcome. We don't really have enough battery power at the moment. I'm just trying to see whether it is actually trying to charge that. Like it's dancing around 1.2. What are you doing with the battery, buddy? Are you charging? 4 hour. Oh, right. The battery's really dodgy. It says please replace now. Fair enough. Let's see how things are in the valley. If we get about 12 frames per second or better, I think it should be okay. Alright, we've got 12, so that's on par. Yep, seems right. Alright, spooky noises. Jason, why don't you have Valley? Just download it. Why do you not have Valley? How did I learn? I learned by doing a lot of things wrong. And trying my best to steal other people's experience and claim it as my own before I made the mistake. No camera. Okay, that's because I've not actually plugged it in, I don't think. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Alright, well, it looks like the board runs. The battery's a bit weak. The RAM might be a little bit touch and go. But it runs. And it's an i5 2.5. It's tolerable. I guess what I'll do is I'll leave it like this right now for the next 20 minutes. And I think if the ME region is dodgy, it will shut it down after 20 minutes or so, I think. I can't remember, but we'll see. But yeah, when I checked it with the Intel UEFI tool, the UEFI tool in the BIOS FSys, NVRAM FSys or whatever, it said it was fine with the checksum, so yeah, maybe it was, but the data just didn't seem right to me. But yeah, if it says it's happy with the checksum, then I guess it's happy with the checksum. Oh well. Anyway, I am out of here. It's late. I'm cranky, and I guess I'll wait till tomorrow. I'm annoyed about that 1932. That was a fair bit of time I shouldn't have spent on that. And of course the parts. Yeah, I put in a ISL 9240 on that. I will actually swap that back. I will take my ISL 9240, reball it, because the one that we took from that board, it was, iffy. So, alright, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry we didn't really have any spectacular, fantastic things, and I'm upset about that bug getting, well, that bug got fruit ninjaed by the fan. There's no two ways about it. It got fruit ninjaed. I just hope it was quick. So, anyway, I'm out of here. You'll take care. Catch us later.